Today I'm on a river that I've actually fished a handful of times, but not yet this year. This is my first time down here this year. It's looking good, water clarity is just fine. We have a bigger water year happening, and because of that, the flows are actually up a little bit. I don't feel unsafe with my wading, or I probably wouldn't be here, but I do think that it's going to present some challenges. Number one, proximity to the holding lies where we want to cast our flies and target fish. Might be a little bit tricky because we're going to have to wade around and navigate around those a little bit. Also, when we hook a fish, this water is going to be ripping, so depending on the situation, hopefully we can find some fish, get them through some fast water and net them without too many troubles, but that could be an obstacle. I'm going to start by Euro Nymphing. We could throw a dry dropper. I just don't know. I think there's so much water coming down that, to me, I think the fish are going to be sitting down in the water column. I'm not seeing any cicadas around. I'm not seeing any stoneflies. Not a lot of hoppers on this stretch of river. So for me, Euro Nymphing with a couple of weighted nymphs is a better option to start the day. Got a 10-foot 2 weight with a Euro Nymphing leader. And as the day progresses, we're going to keep an eye on what's happening, make some adjustments, both with the weight of our flies so that we can get them down deeper, but also maybe with our fly selection. Throwing a stonefly nymph on the top. There are a lot of stonefly nymphs in the water, usually down here, and then I've got a blowtorch on the bottom. Both of them have orange hot spots that in the past, I'm going to rely on some of my past experience. On this river particularly, they've done very well. So, but flies like Frenchies, blowtorches, lickety splits, red darts, attractor pattern, style nymphs do quite well. So we're going to start with a Rowley stone and a blowtorch. Been waiting around a little bit already to cool down after hiking in here. Feels good, flows look decent. Let's see if we can find some fish. So let's talk really quickly as to why Euro Nymphing would be my preferred method in this type of water. As we look out at these pockets here, they're ripping, they're raging, they're moving really, really fast. If I had any other system, it would require fly line. If I have fly line out and it lays across these currents, it's going to be getting pulled all over the place and I'm never going to get a good drift. So a dry dropper, pretty tough unless you can high stick it through this. And even if you can, it's going to be a little bit tougher because you're going to have something tethered to the surface, a dry fly, which is going to be influenced by these faster currents. A traditional nymph rig with an indicator, split shot, that sort of thing. As soon as that indicator hits the water, it's going to get ripped out of there. So with Euro Nymphing, being a tight line technique, there is no indicator. It's just a monofilament leader with a colored portion tied in. That's called the sider. That's what indicates the strikes. So as we drift through this, the only thing in the water are our two nymphs and a little thin piece of tippet. We get a better drift. We're watching that sider, we get better strike detection, and it's a superior method, especially in this type of water. So let's step up here. This water's ripping. I don't know if we'll be able to find anybody, but let's give it a shot. See if we can get our flies down. Now I'm holding the sider and the leader off the water. There we go. Oh, a nice cutty. Whoa, colored up hot. See if I don't want to go downstream. See if I can work him back up in this soft water right by us here. Oh yeah, he was right out in that pocket right in the middle of this thick stuff. Gorgeous, gorgeous cutty. Keep him upstream of me here and into the net. So once again, European nymphing is a fantastic technique. In fast summertime water, when it's really ripping and these pockets have a lot of water pushing, you can find some nice fish like this. So because the flows are up a little bit, the river's down below me, and I've actually had to hop out in order to get around structure. It's just a little too hard to wade up through that river. It's kind of hot spotting today. Whew. We're just looking for water like that. Some really good looking stuff. Some pretty steep stuff to get down to. I'm about 30 feet above. But it looks good. Moving on up. I might give that a shot. All right, so we've got some pretty fast water coming down this chute right here. But right over by that log looks really good. Looks like it could hold a fish. So before I make a cast, I want to kind of plan out what to do in case one does eat. So my guess, there's probably a fish in there as well, but we're going to target down here first. My guess is we're going to catch him in the slow pocket, right behind that rock and all that wood. So we got to make a cast that misses the tree limbs sticking out. And then ideally, he's gonna come down around that log. And then once he's in this faster water, we just gotta keep an upstream rod motion and force him back up and not let him swim into those hanging branches. That's our biggest obstruction. Then this fast water, we just don't wanna raise him up too fast where he's pulling really hard in those higher water currents. So we're gonna keep our rod tip down low and force him sideways. So now that we have a plan in mind, we're gonna throw our stonefly and our blowtorch. We got some limbs over here behind me and to my side that I gotta watch out when casting. I'm actually just gonna do a little bit of a pendulum cast. So I'm gonna swing it over my left shoulder. And just nice, ooh, that almost got those tree branches. Nice and easy in that pocket. Drift, 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 boom. Okay, I'm gonna pull him out. Yep, there we go. Now he's in that fast water. So I'm just gonna patiently keep my rod pointed upstream as I work this fish. Looks like a beautiful cutty on the stonefly. Oh, he's in the upper column. Got to get into the softer water over on my right. There we go. Oh, into the net. Woo. That's a pretty fish. Right there in that slow pocket, right where he should have been. And our plan came together. We were able to keep him away from the hanging tree limbs and fight him up through that fast water column until we got him in the slower stuff next to our side, in front of us, into the net. Gorgeous. Gorgeous cutty. Okay, just upstream of the last spot, we've got a boulder. We got water coming off from both sides. We got a nice hydraulic cushion right behind it and a good little pocket right there. So we caught that nice cutty down here by these sticks, moved up, should be a fish in here. So once again, make a plan. I don't want any fish to go anywhere near all those underhanging branches that are dipping out in the water. Besides that, I'm gonna hook that fish, try to get him a little bit to the left, rotate the rod back upstream and try to land him just directly in front of me here. And the water's ripping, so we gotta use good technique in order to land these fish. So let's make a better cast than that. First cast, we want it to be our best cast. It's in the pocket, it's coming down. There's a fish. Oh, fast water got me. One thing I could have done there, that was a nice brown, is I could have taken a couple of quick steps downstream and got my rod tip pointed back up. I know what I did wrong, so it's a good time to learn, but dang, wasn't a huge fish, so I thought that I could work him back up. He's about 14, I'd guess. But that fast water got the best of me. Let's try again. See if anybody else is home. Oh, that was fun though. Somebody right down here in this pocket. Oh. Whew. Catching fish in fast water. There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna take a step. Oh, water is ripping right there. Get my rod down. Oh, he's not a very big fish, but boy, oh boy, do I got my hands full in this fast water. Here this guy comes. Luckily, a little bit of a rodeo. It's ripping right down there through the middle. Nice little brown on the stonefly. That was wild. Oh my goodness, the water just was having its way with me there, but you're able to manage. Holy smokes. That's a perfect example of when the water's a little bit higher, a little bit faster, you gotta be on your A game. I lost a much better fish moments ago, thinking I was prepared, but man, that water was pushing even faster than I thought. And if that fish was over 10 inches, I don't know that I would have landed him either. All right, so as I was drifting through that last pocket, I hit a couple of rocks. So it's a really good time to check the points on these hooks. Stonefly is good. Looks like my blowtorch has a little bit of a rolled tip. So I'm gonna pull out my hook hone. Super quick, easy adjustment to make. And it's gonna make it where when we set the hook on these fish, it penetrates better and should increase our catch rate. There we go, it only took 2 swipes, just a little burr on the end. Now we're back ready to go. So something to keep in mind is throughout the day, check those hook points. Another beautiful stretch, multiple pockets to hit. See if we can't find a few willing fish up through this stretch. This is an interesting pocket. There's a nice cushion on the side, but more than that, there's a drop that leads into it. So I'm gonna cast up on the shelf, Let my flies drop. Ooh, it's a nice fishy spot. Another fish. Right where he should have been. Right on that drop off. Nice brownie. On the Rowley stone. Keep him upstream of me. Nice. Whew, pretty guy. Good yellows. Nice red spots. Pretty little brownie. Thanks, buddy. So far, the fly of the day has been the Rowley stone. Size 6. It's not a gigantic stonefly nymph, but it gets the job done. Little hot spot orange collar. It's one of my faves. Okay, after a little precarious waiting across this to get into position, oh, crappy. I've got a really good sequence of pockets here that I want to work through. I'm going to go through kind of quickly, but essentially I'm going to hit the pockets that are most likely to hold fish. Some of them are ripping. They may not hold fish. I'm going to watch the trees around me too. I'm going to have to really get down quick. So I don't start to cast until I'm in position. I've got my feet set. Okay, things do slow down on that far side. Let's see if we can get somebody out of there. It's a little snaggy. That's the one. Yeah, there we go. Oh, it's a dang nice fish too. Okay, it's in that fast water. I'm gonna keep my rod upstream, but I'm gonna have to go down with them a little bit. See if I can work him back around. Beautiful cutty. Oh yes. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous fish. Maybe I can net him in this pocket. Come on, come on. Come back upstream, buddy. Here we go. On the blowtorch. Oh, nice. Gorgeous fish. I'm gonna walk right up here so I can release him in this little bit slower pocket. Whew, prettiest cutty of the day. On the blowtorch. What a fun day on the water. Just a quick recap, we started down lower with a Euro Nymphing setup, 2 nymphs, a Rowley stone, and a blowtorch. Found a bunch of fish. Learned some things too. Learned that heavy, fast water, you gotta be on your A game. You let those fish run downstream of you, sometimes it's really hard to recover and you can lose some of the nicer fish of the day, like I did. But overall, this is not a real technical fishery. It's a really fun fishery, super fun day to come out, find some really good fish, beautiful, beautiful fish. It was a great time. Now there is so much to cover with regards to Euro nymphing and the things that we do to catch fish. It's hard to cover them all in a video like this. So to help you guys out, we created what's called the Modern Nymphing Masterclass. Devin Olson, Lance Egan, and myself. It's 5.5 hours, 6 hours of content, somewhere in that range, over 100 chapters, tons and tons of content that will help you master these techniques. It's a fantastic resource. There's a link in the description. Go ahead and check that out. Also today, the blowtorch, thread Frenchie, and the Rowley stone were our primary flies that caught the most fish. Those are what we call confidence flies, and to help you with that as well, we created an ebook called Confidence Flies that I'll also link down below. It's over 80 pages. It's not very expensive. It's a super good resource. You can see the flies that we actually fish all over the world, so you can check that out as well. Thanks so much for watching. We really appreciate it. And a lot of times at the end of a YouTube video, guys are saying, click here, click here, click here. I got a better idea. Turn off your device, go outside, and have an adventure of your own. Until next time, thanks guys.